When people are rushing to scrap their cars under the guise of this scrappage scheme of calms, and you get £2,000 for a scrap vehicle. Oh, sorry, up to £2,000. I sit here thinking, something don't add up with all this somewhere. And then when I hear, oh, you've got to have a valid MOT, it definitely cements my suspicions. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. I'm not too bad, not too bad. Let me know in the comments how you are. Thank you very much for your support as always. This is the last video of the day. This is really me thinking out loud. All of these vehicles that are getting scrapped, where people are going, oh, we're not going to be ULEZ compliant. That's, you know, go and see Sadiq and his scrappage scheme, which apparently now goes to all of London. Let's not mention the fact that people coming to work in London who live outside are going to be affected and get no help whatsoever, even if it's worth the paper it's written on. What happens to these vehicles? Are they just scrapped? Is that the end of the story? No, of course it isn't. Any example of scrapping a vehicle I've ever been involved with, they don't actually need a lot of paperwork. The guy turns up with a low loader, you transfer ownership to the dealer that he represents. That's it, done, gone. Don't even need an MOT, don't even need anything else really, just the keys and that's it. One of the alarm bells that rang in my mind was I read somewhere that any scrap vehicle given over to the scheme needs a valid MOT. Really? So you give over a perfectly good vehicle that could have cost you several £1,000s in return for a poxy piss poor little grant that, let's face it, isn't going to replace your vehicle with anything meaningful. And then what do they do with that vehicle afterwards? Do they actually scrap it? Or do they resell it and the profits go into somewhere else? If anyone hasn't done this already, go on Car Tax Checker if you've scrapped your vehicle under this scheme and run a check to see if your vehicle's still running around somewhere without you knowing about it. I'd be very interested to know the results. One thing that got sent to me as well, you know, you've got 4x4s, very, very expensive cars. Now, I look at carwow.co.uk and there's the top 4x4s, like the Land Rover Defender, a new one, £56,435. A Range Rover, just over £100,000. I think Khan's got about 4 of these and he runs around in. A Mercedes G-Class, I've never heard of a G-Class, £131,335. Land Rover Discovery, 58 grand's worth of car. Again, all high-end 4x4s, which cost a bloody fortune. And you can read all about it underneath. Now, if any of these things are sent into the scrappage scheme, maybe older ones, what happens to them? Where do they go? Well, there's a news article that I've been sent a couple of times, which I will leave a link in the description. Sadiq Khan urged to give 4x4s scrapped for ULEZ to Ukraine. Now, there's several examples of, you know, farmers and all sorts of people trying to send these vehicles over there because they can be converted to be used as other things, ambulances and all that sort of stuff. But you're moving these polluted vehicles from a country that obviously doesn't want them to somewhere else. And I do wonder financially where the money trail lies. Who is losing out? Who is gaining by this? Who in their right mind would give over a perfectly serviceable 4x4 in the first place to a scrappage scheme? And where does it go? Does it end up abroad? Have a look at the links in the comments below and the description below. Let me know what you think on this. I mean, there's a couple of areas, this being one of them. It's a great big bloody scandal. And I'll be bringing you more on this over the next couple of days or so. It's vital that videos like this are shared, and it's vital that we get that information out there because people need to know what they're dealing with. Anyway, I'm off. That's me done for the day. Have a good one, folks. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow with more stuff. Toodaloo.